Okay, hi everyone. So I want to just go through, excuse my low voice, the baby's sleeping, so I don't want to wake him up. I want to go through just some of the logistics of our mission and archives assignment, um, and just kind of walk you through what I was thinking about it. And then, of course, you can change language based on your own class and based on your interests and that type of thing. And I'll talk about that in a second. So, the idea for an archives project, especially I thought with the centennial celebration coming up, would be fun. It will teach our students the skills of finding, accessing, using information, especially within the archives. Also expose them to the archives a little bit more because I don't think many of them, a majority of them have had that before, and also connect them a little bit more with Rosemont College. So I thought as we approach the centennial celebration, this will kind of help them learn a little bit more about the history, their mission, celebrate the college in a way that they can really feel like connected, especially in 2021. And also help them use our archival materials, including our digitized versions of our newspaper and yearbook. Um, I'll show you in a second. I'm so grateful to Liam and Elena, especially Liam, who put everything of what we had digitized from the Rambler, the newspaper, and the Cornelian, the yearbook, onto our Canvas pages. And so he and I have been testing this out kind of all week and just making sure that it actually works and we can load them. And I'm pretty sure it does. And I'll show you where those will be embedded right into your course, which is awesome. I'm so grateful to him. So I also included the archive site in our Rosemont Centennial celebration here. But basically what we want the students to do is learn how to better refine their research skills, learn how to use the archives, the databases, how to effectively research, document findings, share with them our class, and then share with the outside audiences. So you're going to want to just change the dates on here based on your class. I have a very, very large group, so I'm just kind of keeping mind in mind, and I know everybody has a large group, but definitely keeping my section in mind with that. You can change dates however you need based on the pacing of your class, which is absolutely fine. So I thought we'll do these in a series of posts, easy enough, that can be submitted on Canvas. Tomorrow I will physically write out each one of my posts here that I outlined in this draft, and then I will share them with you through the link on my Canvas site. I just wanted to kind of get these out here first, and then I'll put the specifics in for that. And you're always welcome, of course, to use your own language with it. So I thought over the first few weeks of the semester, the students will be responsible for completing a series of 5 posts, and these range in simplicity from things like selecting a topic to finding specific research questions, to finding outside sources, to collecting images, and so forth. So for our first post, we'll have them looking at what they're interested in researching and why, what stood out when they began to look through the yearbook and newspapers. You yourself with your class, or it's entirely up to you. It might be easier if you say we're looking just at the years this through this, or if you have a certain year in mind that you just want them to pull topics from, that's fine. Or if you want to let them pick from amongst everything that's up there, that's also fine too. But I'll leave that up to your discretion. I might give my class a sort of range of things to look at, and then or give some students one range and some students the other, so there's not too much overlap. What are you interested in researching and why? What stood out to you? How did you keep track of what you found interesting and noteworthy? Be sure to list through topics or other areas you notice. This is the post where it's very introductory, but also we want them to start documenting their process and think about how they got there in the first place. Then we'll ask for some secondary sources and the process around evaluating them and why they shared them. Posting final topics, how they narrowed down their selection. A post, I want this to sort of coincide with Heritage Week. And I think that would be a nice kind of way to look and reflect on our mission now, and then the mission and sort of how that's reflected back in the year, perhaps that the students are researching, or the month, the time frame. And then a final reflection and presentation of findings. I thought based on probably the size of your section, you could do this with a short reflection and presentation or in small groups. I would ask them to prepare a short paragraph or two and perhaps pair it with images. and put that together with their research findings and anything else they want it to include. You can also ask students who have similar research areas to share together, and their final post can sort of be a write-up that they would want to celebrate and share with the current centennial that we're coinciding with, or as part of a sort of 2021 collection. Um, so we're going to document our research using our digital archives. And we have the newspapers and yearbooks to use, as well as the archive site. And then, of course, the students have direct access to the library as well, which is the whole point of us going over there. I wanted to leave it pretty open-ended as to what the students can research. So you might tell them to think, what was life like for students at Rosemont during the years that they were researching on campus or off campus? What was going on in the world that was reflected on campus? So what political, social, economic events, religious events, conversations that might have been happening. You want the students to develop some sort of theme, question, or topic that they'll want to stay with for research. So I'm saying you, I mean the students, can obviously pick something specific from the yearbook or newspaper, an image, an event, a person, artwork, poem, story, building, something else on campus, etc., for their project. And also thinking about, what connections do you see from past to our present? How can we better inform others of the unique history of our college? What awareness do you want to bring as we celebrate 100 years as an institution? So these are just like super broad things I was thinking of when I was going through some of the collections on here. I thought maybe we have a lot of athletes. I think I have half or three-fourths of the baseball team in my section. So while baseball, of course, is new this year, I know some students are really invested in sports and might want to research a certain sport or team at the college, maybe at the evolution of that sport, its significance. Is it still available? Documenting some of the processes of that along the way. Someone might look at invited speakers who came to campus. Of course, really popular is our buildings that we have and the roles that they've played on campus. So researching the history and changes that they can see a building has undergone. Someone might want to follow and research a certain club or organization. I thought this would really help with first years, especially to get maybe involved a little bit more. How did Rosemont students react or take action with a certain event or cause? You can see in the newspaper there's quite a bit of things that caused flutter on campus. So much is going on off campus. If the year or month of which you're researching is filled with an important event in the country or world, how is our campus responding? Again, these are just a couple examples. You're welcome to add more in or talk a little bit more, of course, because there's a lot you can do here. So like I said, you just want to modify this in terms of the language and the dates for your section. I don't want to speak for your section and your pacing because I know everybody's is slightly different. I will share with everyone the actual post that I write up tomorrow, and then you through my Canvas site, and then you can change the language, like I said, to your own wording in your Canvas shell. So this might be embedded in there already. I'll email everyone and ask you to check. It shouldn't be made public for anyone, but we have an archives test. We'll rename this. I just want to make sure everybody can see this so far. This is what Liam uploaded everything to. If you click on this, it might make you log in again through Outlook. Just log back in. And here is where you have the Cornelian and Rambler back issues. I want to say it's the majority of what we have. I don't know if it's every single thing. There might be one or a couple things missing. Michelle can definitely verify that better for me, I know. And everything here is in PDFs, which is really nice. So for example, you can click and you can scroll through, and Liam did a great job. Everything's super clear on here. And students could go through and really search. So the Cornelian, of course, is all the yearbook. And then you can go through those, and then you get to the Rambler. Please note there's some issues with both the Cornelian and the Rambler that are compressed. So like, for example, years 1937 through 1944, or 45 through 52, 53, 58, and so forth. Rambler, 31 through 54. These are really fun, I think, for students to go back, especially even farther back sometimes, to see what was going on. You can click these. Again, I would also suggest telling the students that once they find an issue or a couple issues that they're really interested in going in a little bit more, to download them and save them to their desktop or save them to their phone, wherever it is, so that they're not constantly fighting Wi-Fi or anything like that, and they can just bring them up and kind of search through them a little bit more. Some of them will take a little bit longer to load, as you can see. Some of them, depending on the size, Liam tried to compress as much as he could with the files, and he just did a really nice job on here. So this is like mine at home trying to even load for some of these, and they'll come up as soon as they can. Going through here, like I said, some of them are individuals, so you could click on the Rambler. This is the November 2003 edition. That's so funny that they actually crossed the year off of here too. But again, lots that the students can read through. So, like I said, it's up to you if you want to pick a certain year or if you want to give them a free range of years to kind of look at and let them explore a little bit more first. But the goal is to really here make something specific that they can stick with, to research, to get more invested in. It's nothing super fancy, but rather I think it'll expose them a little bit more to Rosemont, get them connected a little bit better, and just kind of really spark their interest. So excited. I'm so thankful for Liam, like I said, for putting these all up here. And so it's kind of fun. I know Michelle and I had a lot of fun scrolling through these for our digital humanities class and our work. So you can definitely bring some more of them up here. And I think that'll be really cool for them to connect with. Again, we can provide more examples, and the whole goal, this is really important. Elena will talk more about the importance of the archive. She'll talk about, actually going over there and using archival materials, which our students are welcome to do, especially if they find something that they have, access to physically over there that they might want to look at too, which will be great. So I'm sharing all this now. This is just the first part. Like I said, I'll share my posts tomorrow. I can only do so much in one night at this point. But this is really exciting, and just make sure you modify, like I said, for your section, the dates, and then of course, just please take out my notes as well so the students aren't seeing them along the way. I'm here for any questions, and thank you all so much for teaching, and I hope you're having fun so far, at least, a week and a half in, and the students, I think, are just so eager and so excited to be back in class.